let's move to the Southeastern Conference. For the last couple of weeks, we've had some back and forth on whether or not this conference is going to scrap divisions, move to 8 games, or stay at an 8-game schedule, move to a 9-game schedule when Texas and Oklahoma join. And then Greg Sankey did reveal finally that the conference is going to stay at 8 games. What are your thoughts on that? And what should the model be for the Southeastern Conference when Texas and Oklahoma do officially become part of that conference?
So let me go in reverse. So what I'd love to see in all of college football is sort of the uniformity in scheduling formats. But what I would love in a perfect world is I'd love for everyone to only play 8 conference games, and I'd love for you to play 3 Power 5 out of conferences, because I want as much cross-contamination and cross-pollination in scheduling between conferences as possible. And then I would give you the ability to play 1 G5 and be done with it. So everyone's playing roughly an equal schedule. What I cannot stand, though, is listening to mouthpieces for other conferences use their national platform, which people accuse me of being with the SEC, by the way. But I can't stand listening to people's kind of marry the amount of conference games you play with being synonymous with strength of schedule. That's not true. It's just like the amount of Power 5 opponents you play does not in and of itself tell me anything about your schedule. And the other thing is this whole FCS cupcake week that the SEC plays, which I'm not a fan of. I don't exactly make Bama versus UT Chattanooga appointment viewing, but to listen to some people talk about how other conferences are more high and mighty than the SEC because the SEC schedules FCS cream puffs. You guys know as well as I do, Cone, if you're playing at Michigan, you know as well as I do that whether you guys play UNLV and you're favored by 44, or you play UT Chattanooga and you're favored by 54, it's the same outcome. Like, it doesn't matter that one of them has a G5 sticker on their helmet and the other has FCS on their helmet. Yes. Everybody plays cream puffs. Everybody does. And so I don't look at the SEC any different. I actually think per capita, they still play the strongest schedules in America. And everyone else knows that. That's why they don't go straight to strength of schedule. They do the smoke and mirror. Oh, shame on you for playing less Power 5 opponents. Shame on you for playing less conference games. Just tell me what the strength of schedule is. That's all I care about.
Yep.
All right, Josh, we're going to get to a couple of Booster Club questions here. We're going to go to Cal Kennedy. What's up, Cal? Hashtag Ask Josh. He said, what are your expectations to see out of Arkansas with both coordinators turning over?
So here's what you're hearing out of Arkansas right now. At least here's what I'm hearing. They don't want anyone talking about them. It's that whole very, very sneaking around the chicken coop mentality. Like I said with Tyler Van Dyke at Miami, huge deal. They kept KJ Jefferson at quarterback there. They got a kid named Varquez Gums out of North Texas who did the classic transfer portal commit, decommit, recommit to the same school. It's a classic 2023 dance move in college football.
Yep.
Probably sneaky good. What is being lost right now in the national conversation is schedule is not nearly as tough for them. I was up there last year and it was week 1 and they were saying privately what they couldn't say publicly. And that is, we screwed ourselves with this schedule. They all knew it. And one of their coaches told me, if we just make it to next year, now we got a shot next year. Well, here it is next year. Those close games, the 3-point losses to A&M, those are the games they got to turn into wins, and they can be an 8 or 9 win team again this year. Quarterback's key, always is.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see if KJ Jefferson can stay healthy, because what they did with him under Kendall Briles compared to what I think they're going to do under Dan Enos, who is more in the Sam Pittman era of let's get in 12 personnel, let's run a bunch of gap scheme, as opposed to let's go RPO and let KJ keep the ball 15, 20 times. Hell, he can't make it halfway through a season with the way they were operating the past couple of years. Very interested to see how he does. You don't have to make your own skincare. All right. And what's the biggest summer secret to great looking, glower summer complexion? It's having great skincare products from our friends at Genucel. Sun, humid, dehydrated skin, covered in dark spots, and even puffier bags under the eyes. It's a problem for all of us. Everybody's got their own little thing. All right. Genucel's beautifully curated summer essentials package is a limited edition package that includes their one-of-a-kind Ultra Retinol Super Moisturizer. Their Ultra Retinol is a powerful plant extract alternative to retinol without the harsh side effects, and is perfectly safe to use in that summer sun. Men or women, doesn't matter, all right? You want great skin regardless. Plus, You'll get Genucel's classic skincare therapy for under-eye bags and puffiness and concentrated vitamin C serum to nourish your skin for a visibly clear complexion with a glow that will get you compliments everywhere. I love the dark spot corrector for all the time I spent outside in the summer like we did yesterday. Was outside with the animals grilling up a storm. Shout out to all the red snapper fish out there, best eating fish. I'll die on that hill. Go to Genucel.com. That's GENUCEL.com/booster right now to get your Genucel Summer Essentials package. We've had a ton of people in the Booster Club that have gotten it, said they absolutely love it. And just in time for the summer, every subscription order includes a customized summer spa gift box, absolutely free. That's Genucel.com/booster. Genucel.com/booster. Do it now because you've got skin in the game.
All right, we got a $5 donation here. Stay on Arkansas. Heartbroken Hog says, Josh, I love your show and your coach series tour. Is there any chance you can get my man Sam Pittman on? Okay, and also Blaine thinks Tim Tebow's overrated. So you can feel free to
Flame him, Josh.
Not overrated. Not the most overrated college player
don't
ever.
That's not true. Okay, that's not true. The list that we had, out of that list, Tim Tebow was the most overrated person on that list. 100%.
So you wouldn't have Tim Tebow on your top 10
what
players
was the
all time?
list? Do we have the list?
Do we have the list?
It was
Tebow one.
It was
Reggie
Tebow,
Bush was on there.
Reggie
Bush,
Vince
Matt
Young,
Lodge,
It was ChatGPT.
Jadeveon Clowney.
ChatGPT put it together. The robots.
Johnny Manziel
course
was
they did.
2. Johnny Manziel was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Tim, Josh?
Look, I think Tim Tebow's college legacy gets kind of clouded by his professional career.
Yep.
Like if we could, in other words, if we could just do this show week 11 of the 2009 season, I don't think people would argue the same against Tebow's legacy as they do now. He was a great college quarterback, man. Like he was phenomenal. And also, I don't overlook the intangible stuff. I think sometimes the media made too much of like a cinematic performance of his persona. And that makes me feel a little ugh. But if you just get inside the locker room, like there was no doubt that guy's like one of the biggest alpha type A's that's ever played this sport. And he backed it up on the field. There's nothing worse than a second or third stringer that tries to be Tim Tebow in the locker room. That is brutal. Well, Tim Tebow was Tim Tebow, and he was Tim Tebow in the locker room. So he's way up there for me. I'll say that. Did you ask something about Arkansas? It's been a long time. I forgot.
Yeah, Sam Pittman.
Sam Pittman, get on your coach series.
Yes, if for no other excuse than to go up there and eat at Wright's Barbecue. They've never paid me a dime, and yet it seems like they're like a presenting sponsor of the show. Yeah, that could be. It could be because I don't necessarily just try and go get the biggest names on that thing. I want to get the most interesting conversations. And if you've ever talked to Sam Pittman, we get him for 10 days at SEC Media, or 10 minutes at SEC Media Days. He spent 7.5 of it last year talking about the best concerts he's been to. And I didn't stop him. I don't really care about football. If you're telling me you just saw Fleetwood Mac in concert, I don't care. So I'm all for going up there and talking to Sam Pittman. We may have to line that up.
Definitely. I do want to ask you, Josh, last question before we get out of here. Everybody needs to go check out Late Kick. Big Ten. I'm looking around at surprise teams across the country. Obviously, Michigan and Ohio State. That's going to be what's talked about. Wisconsin seems sneaky to me, man. They seem sneaky to me in the Big Ten this year. Not saying that they're going to win it, but if I had to pick a surprise team out of the Big Ten to be Wisconsin, what say you?
I agree wholeheartedly. Sneaking around in recruiting too. Mm-hmm. So don't lose sight of the fact that they've gotten some energy up there that people didn't think was possible with Wisconsin because everyone had just started to go to sleep. Yep. Inside the fan base, much less outside. I agree with you. And I also think that same thing could happen with Auburn this year. Anytime you have a coaching staff that comes in offensively and they have like a radically different approach, what you find sometimes is there were just pieces on that roster that were misused or underutilized that you didn't even realize were there. And all of a sudden they're just used properly and you overachieve in year one relative to expectation. That absolutely could be Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think both teams could sneak around, win 8-9 games. And you look at the way the offensive line's been upgraded with what Hugh Freeze has done coming into Auburn. That was such a huge deficiency, not just during the Brian Harsin era, but the last 2 years of Gus Malzahn. It's never a deficiency. We got Josh Pate on. Josh, tell everybody where they can find you, man. Excited to see you at Media Days here soon, too.
Yeah, man. Hey, are you guys? Well, I'm asking if you're coming up here. So you're going to walk to the event?
Yeah, you too. Let's walk together.
Well, there is strength in numbers. That's going to be fun, man. The Late Kick YouTube channel, Late Kick podcast, like wherever you want to listen or view, just type late kicking, you'll probably find us over there.
Definitely. Well, Josh, it's always fun to talk to you, brother. Excited to see you soon. Hey, YouTube, thanks for checking us out. If you didn't know, we do a live sports show the way you like it, where it's mainly about sports and common sense from 6:30 to 8 a.m. Central. That's 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Come join us. We take live calls Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We have a live chat, aka the Booster Club or the Trust Tree, where you can come under the wing and into our hearts. So make sure you subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and hit that like button. We really appreciate it.